Hello, 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 and happy Friday. As we continue to understand what narcissism really is and also how to identify if you are narcissistic, okay, which is the state of being, your attitude, your behavior, narcissistic. Narcissism is the condition that you have. Now, a lot of people may not believe this, but narcissism is literally a personality disorder. It's a personality disorder. And so here it reads, Freud on narcissism, 1914. So anyway, you have different psychologists who have studied narcissism. And it says the American Psychiatric Association has listed the classification of narcissistic personality disorder, narcissism, as in its diagnostic and statistical manual of mental disorders. Since 1968, drawing on the historical concept of megalomania. It is distinct from concepts of distinguishing the self, egocentrism or egoism, and healthy forms of responsibility and care for oneself, primary narcissism. Narcissism, by contrast, is considered a problem for relationships with self and others, and for maintaining a functional culture. In trait personality theory, it features in several self-report personality inventories. Anyway, back to the whole point at hand is this. Narcissism and the trait of being narcissistic have major layers to it that can cause problems in relationships with others, because anyone who is crippled by narcissism will suffer in their relationships with other people because they have a very difficult time being communal. They have a very difficult time being compassionate, communal, relatable. They have a very difficult time sharing. They are mostly selfish, self-seeking, greedy type people. And this is the makings for fractured relationships, because in order to have successful relationships, you have to be interested and authentically wired to share and to care about other people genuinely. And those who suffer from narcissism struggle in this area. All right, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, the science behind narcissism out of the way, and here it is. It says narcissism is the pursuit of gratification from vanity or egotistic admiration of one's idealized self-image and attributes. Wow. Narcissism is pathological. Narcissism, or pathological self-absorption, was first identified as a disorder in 1898 by Havelock Ellis. My God. And featured in subsequent psychological models by Freud on narcissism in 1914. Okay, let's keep going, shall we? Okay, so when it comes to parenting and narcissism, it can wreak havoc on the lives of budding minds. Being raised by a narcissistic parent who has a mental disorder called narcissism, and they are raising children, they can wreak havoc on the minds of their children. Narcissism and narcissistic has a very intense control freak, has very intense control freak traits, and can take parenting into a dark space in the lives of their offspring. Okay. Now, when I think about a narcissistic parent, to some degree, they can be helpful because if they are driven by accomplishments, narcissistic parents who are driven by accomplishments can